Welcome to another deep dive with us. This time, we're going to be exploring some fascinating ideas about ancient knowledge and practices. We all seem to be drawn to these ancient traditions, right? It's like they hold a key to something we've forgotten, some hidden treasure within ourselves. Today, we're going to be looking at temples' mantras and the power of sound and color and ritual, not as superstition, but as potential technologies for inner transformation. It's kind of a journey into the intersection of ancient wisdom and modern scientific discoveries.
It is remarkable how these ancient cultures seem to understand the subtle energies of the universe in ways we're only now beginning to rediscover. Take temples, for example. They weren't simply places of worship. The book describes them as meticulously designed instruments, harmonized with the cosmos.
Yeah, I was really struck by the descriptions of how temples were built. The domes, the limited entrances, even the specific materials used. It's as if every detail was carefully chosen to create a specific energy field.
Exactly. The book explains that these structures were designed to amplify sound and create a unique resonance. It even suggests that temples acted as a focal point for the entire community. It influenced not only those who actively participated in rituals, but even those who simply passed by.
It's almost like the temple acted as a tuning fork for the entire community, helping to establish a sense of harmony and rhythm. There's a story in the book about villages without temples, and the people felt lost and chaotic. They lacked a sense of sacredness in their lives.
This points to a deeper understanding of sound and its impact on our being. Remember that story about the sage Vishuddhananda? He demonstrated the power of sound to actually affect life itself.
He could even cause death with specific sound vibrations.
Think of the implications. The book connects this ancient knowledge to modern research on sound therapy and how it influences everything from milk production to plant growth. Specific sounds can have tangible effects on our bodies and minds.
It makes me think about those experiments where they play classical music to plants and they thrive.
Precisely. The book talks about mantras as being like subtle forms of electricity, specific sounds and syllables that can resonate with different energy centers within us. This ancient understanding aligns with the modern scientific view of sound as vibration and energy.
The book uses a fascinating phrase, Shabda Brahma, meaning sound is Brahma. It suggests that sound is the foundation of all creation.
It's a concept that bridges ancient wisdom and modern physics. Modern science is increasingly exploring the idea of a unified field, a fundamental vibration from which all matter and energy arise. Perhaps this absolute aspect of sound, as the book calls it, is what science might one day uncover.
There was this intriguing mouse experiment mentioned in the book. Scientists electrically stimulated the pleasure center in a mouse's brain and it became obsessed, foregoing food and sleep to keep triggering that sensation. It makes you wonder if we could achieve similar effects using sound instead of electricity.
It's a fascinating and perhaps unsettling possibility. Imagine being able to target specific areas of the brain, influence emotions, or even induce altered states of consciousness using precisely calibrated sounds.
Mind-boggling, isn't it?
It highlights the power and the potential dangers of tapping into these subtle energies. As we delve deeper into these ancient practices, it's crucial to approach them with respect, discernment, and a clear understanding of their potential impact.
Let's move on to something that often causes confusion, the concept of idols. Many people misunderstand the purpose of idol worship.
The book emphasizes that for those who understand the practice, the idol is not the object of worship itself. It serves as a doorway to the formless. It's a focal point for concentration, a mirror reflecting the divine potential within us.
So it's not about worshiping the physical form, but using it as a tool to connect with something beyond form.
Think of it like looking through a window at the sky. The window has a frame, a form, but the sky itself is formless and limitless. The idol helps us to focus our attention and connect with the formless through the form.
The book uses a powerful image. The heart of the idol is often depicted as pulsating, symbolizing the connection between the individual and the cosmic. It's a reminder that we are not separate, but part of a larger interconnected web of existence.
It's a beautiful metaphor for the interconnectedness of all things. This interconnectedness is also a central theme in astrology.
Astrology. You mean the idea that the stars and planets can influence our lives? Some people might dismiss that as superstition.
The book presents astrology as a science that recognizes the profound interconnectedness of all things. It emphasizes that everything in the universe is influenced by cosmic forces. Understanding those forces can offer valuable insights into the rhythms and patterns of life.
The book mentions this Russian scientist, Chizhevsky, who connected solar flares to wars and revolutions. It's fascinating to think that events happening millions of miles away could have such a profound impact on human affairs.
There's a 90-year cycle of the sun that has been correlated with human health, disease prevalence, and even the flow of the Nile River. It suggests that our lives are interwoven with the cosmos in ways we may not fully comprehend.
It's like we're all dancing to a cosmic rhythm, influenced by forces far beyond our immediate perception.
And then there's the fascinating phenomenon of twins separated at birth who exhibit remarkably similar traits and experiences. It points to a deeper level of connection beyond genetics. This could be explained by these subtle cosmic influences.
It's like there's an invisible thread linking us all, a thread woven from the cosmic tapestry that shaped us at the moment of our conception and birth.
This brings us to a crucial concept in astrology as presented in the book, the idea of exposures. The moment of our conception and birth can be seen as exposures, much like a photographic film being exposed to light. At these critical junctures, the energy of the universe imprints itself upon us, shaping our individual journey through life.
It's a powerful image that underscores the interconnectedness of our individual lives with the grand cosmic dance. But the book also mentions different levels of astrology, suggesting that our curiosity often gets fixated on the least important aspects.
It distinguishes between the essential, the semi-essential, and the non-essential levels of astrology. The book warns against getting caught up in the non-essential, the superficial details. It urges us to focus on the deeper, more meaningful levels of understanding.
The book uses the story of Mahavira and the uprooted plant to illustrate this point. Mahavira saw the plant's potential to survive even after being uprooted, emphasizing the importance of looking beyond the surface events to understand the deeper potentialities at play.
This brings us to a profound statement in the book. If astrology is right, the ego is wrong.
It's a thought-provoking statement. What does it mean?
It challenges the very foundation of our ego, our sense of separateness. If astrology holds true, then we are not isolated individuals, but interconnected parts of a vast cosmic dance. True happiness then arises when we surrender to this grand cosmic dance, when we let go of our ego's need to control and allow ourselves to be guided by the wisdom of the universe.
It's a humbling and liberating perspective, isn't it? It invites us to shift our focus from controlling our destiny to aligning ourselves with the cosmic forces that shape our lives.
Indeed, it's a perspective that resonates with many ancient spiritual traditions, suggesting that our true purpose lies not in imposing our will upon the world, but in surrendering to a greater wisdom, a divine flow that permeates all of existence.
It makes me think of those places of pilgrimage, sacred sites that have drawn seekers for centuries. Are they significant because of some inherent power they possess, or because of the intentions and energy people bring to them?
The book describes places of pilgrimage as energetic vortexes, points of convergence where the veil between the physical and spiritual realms is thin. They're not merely geographical locations, but places where the energy of countless seekers has created a powerful resonance, amplifying the potential for spiritual experiences and insights.
They're like power spots, places where we can tap into a higher frequency of energy.
They have been described as jumping boards, places where we can take a leap into the infinite. It's not just about the physical location itself, but about the intentions and energy we bring to these places. They act as amplifiers for our own inner aspirations, helping us to connect with a deeper dimension of ourselves.
That makes me think of those ancient stories about seekers going on pilgrimages to sacred mountains or temples, seeking enlightenment or spiritual awakening.
And the fascinating thing is that these places often have a long history, a legacy of spiritual practice and transformation that has imbued them with a unique energetic signature.
It's like they've been charged with the energy of countless seekers who have come before us, creating a powerful vortex that we can tap into.
And just like a magnet can attract iron filings, these places can attract those who are seeking spiritual growth and transformation.
But I've also heard that the true places of pilgrimage are often hidden, secret only accessible to those who are ready.
There's a wisdom in that. It's about protecting these sacred sites from those who might misuse them, or who are not yet prepared for the intensity of the energies they hold. It's like a safeguard, ensuring that these places remain pure and potent.
And for those who are sincere in their seeking the path will be revealed, the right doors will open at the right time.
It's about trusting the process, about surrendering to the guidance of a higher power. And when we do surrender, when we let go of our ego's need to control, we open ourselves to the possibility of experiencing the universe in a profoundly different way.
It sounds like a journey of both inner and outer exploration, a journey of discovering both ourselves and the hidden dimensions of reality.
And perhaps in that journey, we might just find the keys to unlocking the mysteries that have captivated humanity for millennia. These places of pilgrimage, these energetic vortexes, they aren't like batteries that need recharging. It's more about maintaining a certain vibrational frequency, a resonance built up over centuries of spiritual practice. Think of it like a tuning fork.
So once it's struck, it just keeps vibrating at that specific frequency.
Exactly. And the people drawn to these places are like tuning forks themselves, resonating with that larger frequency.
I've experienced that in group meditations or spiritual gatherings. There's a tangible energy when people come together with a shared intention.
The book suggests this collective intention can create a ripple effect. It influences not only those present, but extending outward to the surrounding community and even the world.
Like those studies where people meditate for peace and the crime rate in the area actually goes down.
It suggests our thoughts and intentions have a real impact, and these places of pilgrimage can amplify that impact. But this power has a shadow side. Could these places be misused?
That's a valid concern. If they're so potent, couldn't they be used for harmful purposes?
The book emphasizes the importance of protecting these sacred sites. That's why the true places of pilgrimage are often hidden, accessible only to those who have developed a certain level of spiritual maturity and discernment.
It's like giving a child a loaded gun. They might not understand the consequences.
Spiritual practice is about more than seeking extraordinary experiences. It's about cultivating compassion, humility, and wisdom to guide us in using these energies responsibly for the benefit of all.
I read something about the dangers of seeking spiritual powers for ego gratification. It can turn into spiritual materialism, where we're obsessed with acquiring power instead of cultivating true wisdom.
That's a crucial point. True spiritual growth is not about power over others. It's about surrendering to a higher power, aligning ourselves with the forces of love and wisdom that flow through the universe.
So it's about becoming vessels for those higher energies, allowing them to work through us for the benefit of the world.
Precisely. When we surrender to the divine flow, we become instruments of healing and transformation, not just for ourselves, but for all beings.
We've been delving into these ancient practices, but we also live in a modern world shaped by science and technology. Can these two seemingly different approaches to understanding reality be reconciled?
It's not about choosing one over the other. Both science and ancient wisdom offer valuable insights into the nature of reality.
It's like using two different lenses to view the world. Each lens reveals different aspects, and by using both, we get a more complete picture.
The exciting thing is that modern science is beginning to validate some of the insights ancient traditions have held for centuries.
Like the power of sound to affect our well-being.
Or the interconnectedness of all things, a concept central to both ancient wisdom and modern physics. It's like we're coming full circle, rediscovering ancient truths through the lens of science.
This rediscovery holds the potential for a profound synthesis, a blending of ancient wisdom and modern knowledge that could lead to a new understanding of ourselves and the universe.
Imagine a world where we integrate these ancient insights into modern life.
Like using sound therapy for healing, incorporating astrological principles into our decisions, or designing buildings and cities that are in harmony with the natural world.
It would be a world where science and spirituality are no longer seen as separate domains, but as complementary aspects of a unified reality.
In that unified reality, we might just discover the keys to unlocking our full potential as human beings.
And perhaps in realizing this potential, we'll also unlock the solutions to the challenges we face as a species.
This brings us to another thought-provoking idea from the book, the concept of the third eye.
The book explains that the Ajna chakra, or third eye, is an energy center located in the middle of the forehead.
It's often associated with intuition and higher consciousness.
The book describes it as the center of willpower, the gateway to accessing deeper levels of awareness and understanding.
Activating the third eye is said to lead to some pretty amazing abilities, mastery over one's body and mind.
The book talks about the tilak, a mark placed on the forehead, as a technique for focusing attention on the third eye and strengthening its power.
So it's not just a decorative symbol.
It's a tool for harnessing subtle energies and directing them towards spiritual growth.
The book mentions an interesting difference when it comes to women and the tilak. It's traditionally connected to her husband, creating a unique energetic link.
It explains that this practice is a different path for women to develop their Ajna chakra. It acknowledges the unique energetic dynamic between men and women, offering a way for women to cultivate their spiritual power while maintaining their femininity.
I read about a hypnotist experiment where focusing on someone's forehead induced a feeling of powerlessness in the other person. It's incredible how sensitive and powerful this energy center seems to be.
It highlights the potential for both positive and negative applications of this knowledge. Understanding these subtle energies is crucial for using them ethically and responsibly. We must approach this knowledge with respect and a deep understanding of its potential impact.
That's a great point. It's not about seeking power over others, but about harnessing these energies for healing, transformation, and the betterment of humanity.
Exactly. As we explore these ancient practices, it's essential to remember that true power lies not in domination, but in service, in using our knowledge and abilities to create a more harmonious and compassionate world.
Yeah, it seems like there's a real responsibility that comes with exploring these ancient practices and the knowledge they contain.
The book definitely emphasizes that.
Right.
It's not about acquiring powers for personal gain, but about cultivating wisdom and using that knowledge ethically.
The book also talks about the idea of inner harmony. It sounds lovely, but what does it actually mean? Is it about being calm and peaceful all the time?
The book describes inner harmony as aligning our thoughts, emotions, and actions with our true nature. It's not about suppressing our emotions, but about finding a sense of balance and integration within ourselves.
So it's about recognizing that we're complex beings, with both light and shadow aspects, and learning to embrace the fullness of who we are.
Exactly. The book talks about the importance of facing our shadow side, those parts of ourselves we might not want to admit to. These ancient practices offer tools for confronting our inner demons and transforming our weaknesses into strengths.
It's about shining a light on those hidden aspects and integrating them into the wholeness of who we are.
The book suggests that wholeness includes both light and shadow. True transformation comes from embracing all aspects of ourselves.
It seems like we often get caught up in external achievements, wealth, possessions. We neglect our inner world.
And that neglect can lead to disharmony and suffering. It's like building a house on a foundation of sand. It might look impressive on the outside, but it's ultimately unstable.
So these ancient practices offer a way to strengthen that inner foundation, to cultivate wisdom, compassion, and resilience.
These qualities are essential for navigating the challenges of life. The book reminds us that these ancient practices weren't just about acquiring powers, but about developing the inner strength and wisdom to live a meaningful and fulfilling life.
I'm particularly intrigued by the idea of sound as a technology for inner transformation. It feels like something we could explore in our own lives.
The book suggests several ways to work with the power of sound. Chanting mantras, listening to sacred music, even simply spending time in nature can have a profound impact.
I know, I feel a sense of peace and connection when I'm out in nature, surrounded by the sounds of the forest or the ocean. It's like those sounds quiet the chatter in my mind.
The book reminds us of the concept of sound circuits within the body. Specific sounds and frequencies can resonate with those circuits, activating different energy centers and promoting healing.
So it's not just about listening to any music, but about finding the sounds that resonate with our own unique energetic makeup.
It's like finding the key that unlocks our inner potential.
That brings us back to the idea that these ancient practices might hold keys to unlocking hidden treasures within ourselves. What's the most important thing we should take away from exploring these ideas?
The book's message is ultimately one of empowerment. It's about recognizing the incredible potential that lies within each of us, and the power we have to shape our own lives and the world around us. These ancient practices offer a path, a set of tools, but the real journey is an inner one.
It's about cultivating awareness, wisdom, and compassion, and using those qualities to create a more harmonious and fulfilling life for ourselves and for all beings.
That's a beautiful way to put it. It's a journey of self-discovery, of
Mhm.
exploring the hidden dimensions of our being, and of recognizing our interconnectedness with all things.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. I hope this exploration has sparked your curiosity and inspired you to look deeper into these fascinating ideas. Until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning, and keep unlocking the mysteries that await your discovery.